Hey everybody, Coach Will here. So today's workout, we're actually going to be starting a little bit differently. We're going to be starting with some breathing type movements. Now, again, this is just meant to kind of help us focus as well, to be aware or bring a little bit more self-awareness of where we're feeling tension. I'm going to start down on the ground, and I'm going to go into a 90-90 position. Now, that means that I'm going to be bringing my legs up onto a chair or bench, making sure that I have space overhead. You can see in my tiny apartment, occasionally I will need to move things around. It's okay, nothing broken. We're good. Now, from this position, keeping the knees at around a 90-degree position the entire time, I'm going to actively pull my belt buckle up to the chin, so I'm getting a little bit of that core engagement as well too, and having my hips slightly lifted off the ground. Now from here, I'm going to take a deep breath in through my belly, and exhale, looking for tension that I might be feeling throughout my body, especially in through my neck and shoulders. Deep breath in. Still keeping that nice core engagement as well too. Now this doesn't have to be an all-out brace, but just allowing your body to feel that slight increase of intra-abdominal pressure as you take a deep breath in through the nose. Feeling like you're filling up a water jug, feeling that tension increase in through your belly in that three-dimensional space. So pushing out through the sides into your obliques, filling that space into your low back to help protect that spine. Exhale out. Repeat, deep breath in. We can also use the term of cannonball breathing from this one as well too. So if somebody were to shoot a cannonball at you, you'd be able to kind of hit it right in the gut, nice and stable, feeling that brace position as well too, to help protect your body, to help protect those internal organs. Now, if that's a little bit too violent for you, you can just think of taking a deep breath in and either coughing or laughing. Now, again, I'm not going to do that on camera because the next door neighbors might think I'm a little bit weird. That being said, deep breath in, feeling that brace if you were to cough or if you were to laugh, and feeling that kind of that overall tension increase. Good. So we're going to do that for about 60 seconds, just feeling that overall tension, finding that kind of that overall neutral alignment or slightly posteriorly tilted. That being said, we're then going to get on up and we're going to go through today's workout. So starting off, we're going to be doing a little bit of an AMRAP, as many rounds or as many reps as possible. We're going to start with a farmer carry. Now this farmer carry is going to be dictated based on the weight you have, based on the space you have as well too. So if you have a very wide open space and a lot of weight, you might choose to go for a very short distance. That being said, if you're constrained in either of those options, you can choose to increase the distance you walk if your weight is low, or if you don't have too much space, just go bouncing forth. You're already bouncing off the wall, so now we can actually make it a little bit more literal. So for this one, it is going to be 5 minutes of an AMRAP. You're going to be doing farmer carry. Pick your distance and try to keep it consistent. And then we're going to go into 5 to 10 each side of a lunge or a split squat position. So that farmer carry, grabbing weights on either side, nice and stable through the trunk. Now again, from here, I'm just going to be walking towards the camera. It's not going to stay, so you're going to keep looking at kind of crotch level. I'm going to turn away so you get a nice view. Walking away, nice and stable. If I've chosen to have this as my distance, I would continue to do this for a specific amount of time. Now again, what that is going to be dependent on the individual. If it's going for 3 repetitions or 3 paces back and forth, then that's completely fine. Use that as your metric. 3 back and forth, and then going on to 5 to 10 lunges or split squats, weighted or unweighted, again, up to you. Nice and stable. Control drop down, big drive back to standing position. Repeat. I would recommend sticking with a specific number of repetitions one side, and again, specific number of repetitions on the other side, knee tracking in line with the toe, going as low as you feel comfortable going, but keeping that consistent throughout. Once you've done that, again, grabbing your weights, going back into that farmer carry, choosing your selected distance and your selected weight, and repeating on through. after you've done this for 5 minutes, write down how many rounds you got through of that consistent distance with that consistent weight for your walk and that consistent number of repetitions for either your lunge or your split squat, whatever you chose. We will be coming back to that after the main portion of the workout. Now, main portion of the workout is going to be 20 minutes. This is, again, not going to be an AMRAP, but it is going to be a timer-based workout. We have 4 exercises that we're going to be continuing on through. We're cycling through for 20 minutes. Now, again, not a race. We're focusing on good quality movement, choosing to take rests as needed throughout as well too, so that we can maintain and help facilitate that good movement. The first exercise is going to be a single leg step down, and we're going to do 5 each side of that. Now, for this one, we're going to start feet side by side, hips nice and squared up. From here, I'm going to be lowering my left leg or this hanging leg down to the ground by breaking or hinging at the hips and then bending at the knee to drop on down. Once we get into this position, again, notice how I'm trying to keep my hips squared up, so I'm not dropping this left leg or this hanging leg down and letting this right hip jut out to the side. I'm trying to keep everything coordinated, trying to keep everything relatively squared up. Now, from here, you can do a double leg stand back up and then repeat. 5, one leg, double leg stand back up, and then switch over. 5, the other side. Again, nice and stable. Start standing, lowering under tension, double leg back stand. If you want to do that big push off on just the inside leg, that's completely fine. But again, we're coordinating that movement, stabilizing in through this elevated hip as you break through the hip, bend through the knee, dropping on down. If you would like to go lower, you can either choose to bend that back leg so you drop down a little bit lower, or you can choose to, as you bend, kicking that leg a little bit further. Again, knee tracks in line, making sure that that feels okay for the hip as well too. That would be exercise number 1, the single leg step down, 5 each side. Exercise number 2 is going to be the pullover. For this one, you're going to need a stool or a short chair that you can elevate your trunk onto. From here, I'm going to set my shoulders on the bench so that my knees are directly over top of the heels. Big brace in through the belly, grabbing your weight, pushing directly up over the chest. Now from here, slight bend in through the elbows. I'm going to let the weight come directly up overhead and then extend up directly over the chest again. Repeating, control drop down and drive up. Now, rather than this being very significant on the triceps, you will feel a little bit of that, but we're really focusing on the lats. You can see basically the sweat stain goes all the way down through my lats as well too. Big muscles that insert into the back of the armpit and then go into the mid back, the low back, and in through the top of the hip as well. So now we're going to be going into the single leg hip thrusts. We're going to be doing 5 each side for that. So we're going to start very similar actually to how we set up for that pullover. I'm actually going to be using the same weight that I used for the pullover to actually support the bench. From here, I'm going to be pulling my left knee up towards the chest, big brace in through the glute on that right hand side, and from here I'm actually going to be using my thumb on my lower rib, middle finger on the top of the hips, keeping that line consistent as well too throughout the movement. I'm going to be dropping the hip down to the ground, and then big drive up, squeezing through that right glute, and repeat. I'm going to do this for 5 repetitions on the right side, and then switch over, 5 repetitions on the left side. Now, once you've completed that, you can go down to the ground, and we're going to go into a plank toe tap position. So, from here, either from the elbows or from the toes. Now, I know you can't see my face on this one, so you don't see me grimace when I meant to say from the hands. That being said, I'm going to step away from the midline with my left foot, back to midline with my left foot, away from the midline with my right foot, back to the midline with my right foot. We're going to repeat that for 5 each side, slowly bruising your foot because you didn't move a bench out of the way. Little tiny steps. After that, we get to rest for a bit if you need to, And then we're going to be repeating through that 20-minute 4-exercise circuit as many times as you can until your time is up. Now again, remember, focus on technique, focus on good position. That being said, after 20 minutes is up, grab a little bit of water, and now you're going to repeat that 5-minute AMRAP that you started off with, only this time you have 7 minutes to complete the same amount of distance, the same amount of traveling, and the same number of repetitions for your single leg lunge or your split squat. After you've completed that, hopefully you did match up with it. I gave you 2 minutes extra for that. That being said, if you didn't, don't worry about that. It just meant you went a little bit hard through the workout and the AMRAP as well too. Otherwise, stay safe, have fun. We're all in this together. Thanks guys, bye.